I was trapped. There was no phone in the house. I wasn't allowed to go out of the house. There was a perimeter around the house. Their gates were locked.
What if your family told you were going on vacation and then they married you off?
Just sit there, washing myself, getting all his smell off me.
No warning, no conversation, no choice. Just a plane ticket, a suitcase, and then suddenly, a husband.
I didn't even meet the man. He was in the living room with his entire family. I was in the bedroom. The husband's sister came and just gave me a ring, put it on my finger, and that was it.
And you did not see him?
I didn't see him.
My guest today was 15 years old when her family told her they were traveling. Instead, they left her in another country, married to a 30-year-old man. In some cultures, we would call that pedophilia.
Yes, it is.
And how would you endure those moments of...
It was horrible, absolutely horrible. I decided to commit that night.
This episode isn't just about child marriage. It's about coercion disguised as culture, control disguised as protection, and what it does to a teenager's nervous system when the people you trust the most orchestrate your disappearance from their own life.
My father is and was my first love. He would use anything to hurt me. When I'm asleep, he will just come and start beating me. If he put the to my neck, he was saying, that's it, all of us gonna go.
This is a story about survival, about reclaiming voice, and about the moment you realize the vacation was never meant for you. It was meant to silence you.
You can't trust anyone, especially men. Yeah. It's that betrayal.
Yeah. Rubie, welcome to the Shadow Sessions.
Thank you for having me.
Wow, so your story is shocking a little bit. You hear that you're going on vacation, and then suddenly you realize that this vacation is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Take me to the moment where you found out that you're going on vacation. Like you're going on a holiday. I'm sure that's exciting.
Oh, yes, it was very, very exciting. But there is a little backlog to it as well. So what happened, the trigger for that was because my sister was in love with someone. She was dating this boy that lived in the community, and she was very much so in love. She was 3 years older than me. I was 15, she was 18, and she wanted to get married. And how beautiful is that? She wanted to get married. So she went to my father and said, I want to get married to this boy. Can you arrange it? He got so mad at her, he beat her up that day really badly. I remember the cries from the room.
Yeah.
And that was very frightening. Because I had a secret boyfriend too. And I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? This is what's happening to her. I've got a secret boyfriend. They're going to do the same to me. 2 weeks after that, she eloped from home, and rightfully so. She wanted to pursue her dream and into getting married to the person that she loved. So she went, but all eyes turned on me then. I thought that my family did not know about my secret boyfriend, but he wasn't a secret at all. They knew. So they then put a lot of pressure on me, saying things like, you know where she is. Tell us where she is. You two are like best buddies, you know,
So
give us the information.
What your sister is up to.
Yes, because she brought shame, the word shame, onto not just the family, it's the collective of the community and the extended family. It's like the best way I can describe is like FBI agents. You know, they know your name, they know, you know, they link to you somehow, even if they're not blood related. Everyone ripples out this information and they flood it out. So when that happened, that incident happened with my sister eloping, the shame rippled out to everybody. So the pressure was on us, and they were trying to get this information out of me, and I didn't know. I honestly didn't know where she went. I just thought good on her, but I did feel abandoned because she was my best friend. But then things in the house started to get quite heated. My father owned a restaurant partly with other family members. So they would go to the restaurant after closing time. They would have meetings in our house. And I slept right on top of the living room. So I could hear a lot of muffling, a lot of shouting. So I knew there was meetings going on, but I thought they were all focused on my sister.
Yeah.
let's find her. Where is she? Send out FBI agents, to go and get her back and bring this smoother shame over. But it didn't seem like that was happening. I don't think they got anywhere with that because they couldn't find her, obviously. But there was a lot of tension. There was a lot of domestic violence going on in the home as well with my mother and father. That started to creep up even more and more and more. My father was getting quite violently verbal with us, and I've got many brothers and sisters. And the focus was on me. It's like I was getting the aftermath of her run away. So that was quite tense. I started to not go to school. My personality started to just get dimmer and dimmer. And then it was coming up to the summer holidays where we have 6 weeks holiday, and that's our year out for the year of school. And my father just suddenly comes home, and he's got this different mood about him.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what's going on there? And he's like, oh, we're going to go to Bangladesh, only for the 6 weeks holiday. And as we could all feel the tension from the community, we thought it was a good idea too.
Yeah.
And I've never been abroad, so why wouldn't I want to go? Yeah. Family all together, my mother and father, they used to always tell us stories when we were younger about the extended family in Bangladesh, the way they grew up, the way they had their love marriage, and it was beautiful. It was like bedtime stories to us.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to go, and I wanted to see all that.
Yeah.
So I was like, hell yeah, I'm going. And we all went then. We all
So
go.
by all is you, your mom, your dad, your siblings too?
Yes, my siblings. So it was like a family of like 8 going all together. And I could just imagine who funded all that money as well. It was a collective. It was get out of sight, out of mind kind of way that they had. Get this family out of here because of the shame they brought onto us. Get them out, let them stay out for as long as they can.
Let's give some context to our listeners and viewers, because I understand what you're talking about, right? So I'm going to assume you're predominantly Muslim, coming from a Muslim background.
Yeah, yes.
Yes. So very conservative or liberal? Where are they on the Muslim scale?
You know what? To be honest, I don't really know.
You don't know?
Whatever they want to do, because
And
I pulled away from that.
But back in the day when you were
Back in the day, they was very strict. Very strict.
So on the conservative side, they're living in a community of like-minded or like culture in the UK?
Yeah. Well, it was opposites of the scale. So when we were growing up, we were quite free. We can wear shorts, we can walk around. But as soon as puberty hit for the girls, everything changed.
Yeah.
So it was a flip side. And then there was a sudden, I remember my mother, she used to wear these beautiful saris. She had her hair like just Princess Jasmine, hair plaited to the side, vibrant colors. And no one wore a headscarf back then. That's the broad bringing up that I had. But then all of a sudden, when I was like 8, 9 years old, that's when it all changed. Everyone started wearing burqas. Hijabs, and I couldn't understand that flip side at all, and that affected me as well, because I'm thinking, hang on a second, why is it just flipping? So that is some of the context of the way that we were brought up as well, because it confused me.
Yeah. So it kind of a little bit hypocritical.
Yes. Very, very much so.
I understand.
Very
okay.
much so.
And were they living in a community of like Bangladeshis?
Yes. We were minorities in the city that I was brought up in. Well, it's a little village city in Wales. And everyone was the same, but then everyone just had this like fashion of being more and more strict. And then, oh no, we're better Muslims than you, kind of thing. So yeah, it was very odd.
Yeah, so in a culture like that, when it's all very tight-knit, it's kind of fear-based ideology. Everybody is focused on the girls must behave in a certain way in order for them to be pious and pure and in that kind of culture. And now your sister eloped, and that's a big sin, right? So it's activated the shame within your culture.
Yes.
Gotcha. That's for context, because not everybody understands that, right? So now you're on the flight, you're going to Bangladesh. What are you feeling?
I'm feeling excitement. I'm just like, my emotions were just like everywhere, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to a different city, a country altogether. I'm going to the other side of the world. I've never been on a plane or had holidays growing up at all. So this was so exciting. And I'm going with my brothers and sisters, my family. Yeah, and it felt nice because we never had that sort of bond. And then to all just pull together and go together was really nice. And I remember getting off the airport and I remember the hustle and the bustle. You could hear it from the out, from the doors. And, you could hear the rickshaw bells going, people chatting away in their language. I mean, English is my first language. So I'm trying to catch on what's going on. Wow, it was just cars driving in every direction. There was poor people as well coming to me, for money. And I was just giving them what I could. And my mom was like, don't give them £10. I'm like, why not? So I'm just like, it was so new. It was a culture shock, but a beautiful culture shock. And it really did humble me as well, because I never known any other sort of life to the way that I was brought up to, a developing country. Yeah. And I think I learned so many values of me being as a person and giving more. So it was really, really nice. I met my great-great-grandma as well. That was nice. I saw where my mother was brought up. She came from a very poor background, and they had like this dugout pool in the garden and a tin roof. And I remember one day it was raining really hard, and you could just hear the sound effects. It was amazing experience. First 6 months was amazing, and then going to my dad's side, of his family. I remember going on a boat with no engine on it, which took like 5 hours to go down the stream. So snakes in the water, bamboo bridges. It's like Mowgli.
So when did you realize it was no longer a holiday?
6 months in. So the 6 months extended because...
6 months? I thought you were going for 6 weeks.
Oh, no, it extended for 6 months.
Okay.
So when the 6 weeks ended, my father said, we're going to extend it now because we paid so much money to come here. We're going to extend the holiday. So we're like, okay, that makes sense. Why not? A couple of months off school is nothing. But then extended to 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. And that's when it no longer became a holiday. It started becoming sickness to all of us. We were getting ill. My brother got malaria. It was really, really bad. The food was different. It's nice as every place is nice as a holiday till you have to forcefully live there. Yeah. So there was another flip side to that as well. So, from a holiday to living there, there was no balance. And I remember the pivotal moment was when my father, we lived in the city. And my father would always go to the villages, which is like 3-4 hours out, and then come back. So half of the week he would go out and then leave us in the city. We lived in our house that my mum and dad built over the years since we were young. So that was like another prize, that we're living in our own like mansion, and it was really nice. But then he would go and leave us. So that was that abandonment as well. Because me and my father, I was daddy's girl. And I didn't want to go anywhere without my father. So for him to leave us there and then just come back whenever, he was fluttering around. And I didn't understand why he was fluttering around so much. Like, we come as a holiday, stay together. But then he just came from the village one day. And I remember we were sitting down on this beautiful wooden, massive, like 10-seater wooden table, and it was all carved out with like leaves and beautiful like roses and things like that all on them. We were all eating, watching an Indian movie, Bollywood movie, and he just said, oh, wouldn't it be good if we got Rubie married? Just so bluntly, verbal vomit. And I was sitting there and I was like, well, I had to double take on him and like, what? But then it made sense to me. It was like a domino effect. Like, this is why he said the 6 weeks holiday. That was the prompt to get us out. Because if it was June school, I would have said no. And then extending the time, the reason why all those meetings happened, all the reasons why my father was getting so angry on the flip side. Then he was so nice, and then, you know, giving us whatever we wanted in Bangladesh. He would like give us money. My father's never given us money before, you know, but in Bangladesh he was giving us money. Buy whatever you want to, you know. We had an uncle that lived with us. He's your chaperone. Tell him what to get you. Give him the money and he'll get it. We were living like kings and queens out there. And then for him to flutter into the village all the time and then come back, it all made sense that he was looking for a suitor for me. And I remember getting absolutely livid and shock. And I think it knocked me for 6. And I thought, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do? This was their plan all along.
And how quickly from that announcement to the wedding day was it?
Oh, the wedding, there was an engagement that happened. That was a couple of weeks after. I remember I didn't even meet the man. He was in the living room with his entire family. And I was in the bedroom, and they did put a sari on me and gold on me. And I remember the husband's sister came and just gave me a ring, put it on my finger, and that was it. That was the engagement.
And you did not see him?
I didn't see him. I saw a flicker of him beforehand. There was a meeting going on, just like the meetings that were happening at home. There was a meeting going on in front of the house. And that meeting is when my mother called me over and she whispered to me, and she goes, oh, that's the guy you're going to get married to.
So is there a point in your mind that you're feeling that this is normal?
No. This was not normal at all. Not for me, anyway.
Yeah.
Because I've always been expressive in how I feel, how I stand up for myself. And I think that was one of their problems as well. Thinking she's going to elope fast. We need to get rid of her. So for me, that was not normal at all. I was trapped. There was no phone in the house.
Okay.
I wasn't allowed to go out of the house. There was a perimeter around the house. The gates were locked. Boys can go in and out as much as they want. But me, because I was the eldest girl, the younger lot were very young. They were like 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
I was 15. couldn't really communicate with them. I was on my own. And, you know, I've used this reference before. I felt like Princess Jasmine in this beautiful, beautiful mansion. You know, my only freedom is going up to the rooftop, watching the beautiful sunsets, hearing all the hustle and bustle in the far distance, but I can't go out. I can't get to no one.
And are you debating this with your father? Like, why am I not allowed to go out? Why should I stay in here?
The reason he would say is because you're a British Asian girl. You can get kidnapped. Things can happen to you. So there was that fear-mongering going on as well. So I was like, oh my gosh, you know, there was that control. I'm not going out anywhere. You know, I saw how people reacted to me when I was going out with my father right next to me. Oh, you're beautiful. You know, people just shouting out things. Oh, you're stunning. And I'd be like, ugh, you know, it'd scare me. And I think, you know, that's more of a control of how he used that against me.
Got you. Okay. So you don't see him at the engagement. And then how quickly did you guys get married?
It was announced, I would say, October time that I was going to get married. November time is when I got engaged. December the 5th is when I got married. So it wasn't long at all. It was fast, super fast. Okay. And I think that was because of the timing that we were there for, because we were already there for 6 months. And they worked it out so well of like, okay, she's going to turn 16 next month in the January. A couple of months she stays here. Or even their plan was to stay, for me to stay there and bring him back as a spouse. But their plan completely folded.
Wedding. You meet this guy for the first time. How does that feel?
I felt, I don't think there's a word for it. I just felt like my insides just turned inside out. He was a stranger. So I had no feeling. All I felt was afraid of, I don't want to go into this. I don't want to go into this. My feelings started to develop of hate from him was after the marriage, after the wedding day.
Okay. At no point did you try to bargain with them?
He knew I didn't want to get married.
Not
I was
the
very
husband,
distant.
Your family?
My family, yes. I pleaded with my father. I said, please let me go back. I'll get rid of this secret boyfriend. I'll go back to school. I'll be a good girl. I won't do anything that my sister did. You know, let me just have that chance.
Yeah.
And my elder brother was with us at that time. He had to come back because his university opening day was opening. So he left us there. But he even bargained with my father and said, just let her come back. I asked all the male cousins. None of them were being listened to. It was my father's way or no way.
And how are you feeling in those moments?
Anger. Anger towards everyone. Like betrayal. Like, I love you and you betray me like this. My father is and was my first love. So to have that heartbreaking from someone that I loved so dearly was immense. And a lot of anger, a lot of hate, a lot of betrayal. Like I couldn't quite understand it in that 15-year-old brain of like, how does this work? This is a family that's supposed to protect me, love me. But then my father is giving me to someone and he's not even batting an eyelid of how I feel.
Yeah. And what about your mother?
My mother pleaded with my father.
Okay.
She did not want it to happen. She was crying all the time. And she's like, what can I do? What can I do? I'm like, I know you can't do nothing.
Yeah. So just like before you said this statement, you swallowed. You swallowed something big.
Yeah.
What was it that you swallowed?
Before this statement, I think I still feel the hurt from my father. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And if we just let that and go into that hurt, what is that hurt saying?
You can't trust anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially men. But I don't have hate for men. I don't treat them and paint them all in the same brush.
Yeah.
But it's that betrayal.
Yeah. Yeah. And you keep saying he's my first love.
He was my first love.
Yeah.
A son's first love is his mother. For a girl, it's her father. And we are taught at a young age to fall in love with the opposite sex, and they are. Your mother and father there to give and provide and love you to the core.
Yeah. Yeah. And how does that sit today? Are you in any contact with him?
No. I've learned to...
There's tissues right there.
Thank you. I learned to accept who he is and accept that if I put more of my energy into him, for him, because for a long time I did try for him to love me back the way that he did once love me. But I knew I wasn't going to get anywhere. I was just digging myself into a more open wound.
Yeah.
So I changed that for me when I was around 27.
Yeah.
And I started to recycle all that energy back into myself because I knew I wasn't going to get that. But then I started the toxic trait of getting into relationships, looking for a father figure kind of person.
Yeah, we'll jump onto that.
Yeah.
So now, wedding day, you're seeing this man, you know you're going on with him, you've pleaded, you've cried, you've begged. You've begged for decency, for mercy, for a life.
Yeah.
And you got no.
Yeah.
This is your fate now.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this man first. What do you like to refer to him as? Your ex-husband? How do you
No.
No, yeah. What would be the word you would like to use?
I don't know, to be honest.
Okay, let's talk to him.
The father of my child, that's what he is.
Okay. So let's talk to him about, first he's the stranger. So you're marrying the stranger.
Yeah.
He's 30, he's 15 years older than you? Yeah, he's 15 years older than you. In some cultures, we would call that pedophilia.
Yes, it is.
And you are now going home with him at the end of this wedding for the first night. What happens?
Well, lucky enough, I was on my period. So I knew that the sex wasn't going to happen. And I kept myself tightly wrapped in my own arms. I didn't want him to touch me or talk to me or anything like that. I felt, a certain fear that I know it's going to happen when my period stops. And I didn't quite know how to go with it.
Is he trying to engage with you? Is he trying to start conversations? Is he trying to get to know you?
He was trying to make me laugh. He was trying to nudge me. And I'm just like, please don't touch me. Don't touch me. Like, I don't even want to look at you. You know how old I am. You know I don't want it. I'm crying my eyes out for weeks and weeks. I was crying at the engagement, at the wedding night. My eyes were absolutely bruised from wiping my eyes so much. He knew I didn't want this. But he was trying then to make me laugh and giggle.
What do you say to people who say, well, that's just Bangladeshi culture?
I guess people can just say that. But it's the circumstances. If I agreed to it, that would have been totally different. Then, my husband could nudge me and make me laugh and whatever, because I've agreed to it. I didn't agree to this.
Yes.
And there's a massive difference when it's forced.
Correct. So then what happens?
After a couple of days, I finished my period, and that's when the rape started. It was like I had to. I knew in my body, in my mind and soul, if I don't please everybody with this marriage, I'll just end up living there for the rest of my life. So for a 15-year-old to kind of internalize that and play the role, that's what I did. I had to smile while I was caving inside. I had to put this big, massive show on for everybody to get my father's approval of oh yeah, this is a marriage that's working. It's fine now.
I'm obedient.
Yes, I'm a good girl now for you. Take me home now. That was my goal. I'll smile or do whatever, but take me home. But when the rape was happening, it just killed me. Killed my personality. It killed everything that I knew about me for 15 years. It's like the 15 years just got wiped out. And there was this slate, nothing on it, because everything I thought about myself was broken bit by bit, down to nothing.
And how would you endure those moments of rape?
I took myself to the sea, the ocean, because that's where I was brought up. In that city, it was right by the coast, and that was my safe place. I love the ocean. It gives me such a sense of safety. And even to this day, I find it such healing. Yeah. And it just gives me so much peace. And that's where I took myself every time it was happening.
So kind of dissociation.
Yes.
Yeah. So you disassociate from the moment, you go somewhere else, you endure it.
Yeah.
How long did that last for?
3 months.
3 months. Okay.
I remember because I wasn't allowed to cry, because I wasn't allowed to show any sort of emotion of sadness. I remember after every time he was finished, in Bangladesh, you've got the wet rooms. So it's like it's like a full wet room. There's no like bath or there's no interlocking doors. It was just a full wet room. I would put the tap on full blast, both of them. I put the shower on full blast, on the cold and the hot, and I would just hide in the corner. And I would just sit there and cry, and just because I wanted to hear the ocean, and that's where I would go. And just sit there while I'm washing myself, getting all his smell off me.
Yeah.
And that was my little safety bubble. And I would just sit there for as long as I can till someone knocks on the door. Because that's the only thing that I created for me to feel safe.
Yeah. And at any point, did you think, like, I need this to be over?
Yeah.
I don't want to be here anymore?
Yes. But I knew I wanted to get home first. I wasn't going to, even if I did end my life there, no, my body's not going to be there.
Yeah. It was very important to go back home. It's kind of like you had a mission.
That was my mission, to get home, comply, do everything that they ask you to do. I remember sometimes I'd slip up and I'd shout at him, and he did slap me a few times, and I'd be like, no, I'm leaving now. And then I would leave his house, get to the gates, and I'm like, I'm going home, because our house was only 2 streets away. And then he'd be like, what are you doing? Why are you being silly for? Shouting at me, swearing at me. And then I'd be like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? Because he's going to tell my dad now.
Yeah. And then
I'm going to stay longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I couldn't help myself.
Yeah. So how did you get back home?
So I was on the pill, the birth control pills. My uncle actually gave me the birth control pills just before the wedding day. And he said, take these religiously. I didn't quite understand it because I didn't have sex education in school or anything like that. So I said, okay, I'll take them. And then he said, when it finishes, tell me and I'll get you another packet. So I did that. And then there was whispers going on. Why is she not getting pregnant? Why is she not getting pregnant? She's young, she's fresh, she's that's the way that they, the terminology they would use. And I would be like, oh God, in my head, I'm like, I'm a baby myself. I'm swearing and shouting everything I can in my head to them, but with a smile on my face. And I'm like, I don't want a baby. I don't want a baby. One day I went to my mother's house for the day and came back to his house, and his sister was like giggling, but then being quite passive aggressive at the same time. And I was like, why is she acting weird? Sat down, then they had a maid and she made tea for us. So I sat down, and then she gathered her mother and father up and her brother, the one I got married to. And then she goes, oh, this is why she's not getting pregnant. She threw the pills on the table. She just threw them at me. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I hid them so well in that room where I didn't think anyone would find them. But she found them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it wasn't long after that I got pregnant. And that was another celebration for them. Like, oh my gosh, yeah, they were so happy. They celebrated food. You could smell the like samosas in the air, just partying as much as they could, inviting everybody. Oh, my son's having a baby. Oh, he's having a baby. He's going to go to England now and all this stuff. And I was just sitting there thinking, how is a baby going to grow in a baby's body? Because I'm a baby still.
Did you really think I'm a baby at 15? Because most 15-year-olds think,
Oh, no. I was naive.
You were like, I'm a baby.
I'm a baby. I think it's generation. I'm 43, so I think it's a generation. 15-year-olds now be like, hey, I'm everything. Back then, I was a baby.
Okay.
I was very naive. I'm slap bang in the middle of all my brothers and sisters. So I pretty much so got away with everything, being a bit cheeky, being, expressive, asking for more than I shouldn't, breaking the rules. That was my personality. But in that sense, I was a baby.
Yeah. I mean, yes, you were a child, but I was just thinking about the psychology of a teenager, because most teenagers think they're wise and they have all the resources and the answers to everything.
I think the way I felt like a baby was because I was sheltered so much.
Yes.
I wasn't allowed to go and do what the boys were doing. I remember when Karate Kid, the first Karate Kid was out, and my brother went to karate lessons, and I was like, I want to go, because I was such a tomboy as well. And I wanted to follow suit. And my brother was like, oh, you've got breasts, that's why you can't go. And I'm like, what?
Okay, yeah.
So I had like three brothers, 2 brothers above me and a sister, and then the rest, and then it's me, and then all the younger ones. So I was the baby.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, so here you are pregnant at 15 or at 16?
I was 16.
16. How does it feel?
Like nothing. Like nothing. I didn't have any connection to it. I didn't have no feelings. I didn't know what feelings were at that time.
Of course. Yeah.
I completely dissociated myself from everything, from attachment to any sort of feeling. That was the way I was functioning.
And then the baby started growing in your stomach, so...
Yeah, so I was about 5-6 weeks, and then I fell really, really sick.
Okay.
At that point, my father actually left my mother and all the children there in Bangladesh, because I think he felt like we needed more time there because I got pregnant. He came back to the UK because around that time, it was almost a year that we were gone. So all the bills and everything were piling up. So he needed to sort out the home. And while I was there in Bangladesh, I became really, really sick. My mom was like, this is not morning sickness. This is something more. I was bedbound. I was going in and out of consciousness.
Wow.
I was vomiting everything out. Even a sip of water, I was vomiting God knows what out, even though there was nothing inside of me.
Yeah.
And my mum was like, this is not right. And she got doctors from far and wide to come over, check me out, put an IV in me. The IV would shoot back out. Nothing would stay in me. And she got really, really scared because all the doctors started to say, she's going to die here. This is a deathbed.
Yeah.
You need to take her home. And I remember it was around April time. And then my mother went next door to make a phone call to my father, chaperoned with my uncle, because obviously she's not allowed out. And she made that phone call to my father. My father cried because my uncle told me. And she said, she's going to die here if you don't book the tickets fast now. Within a week, my father booked everyone's ticket.
Wow.
Yeah.
So getting sick kind of saved you.
Saved me.
Yeah.
It saved me.
So now, did you leave with your stranger husband or did you?
No, so he stayed there.
Okay.
I came back with my family.
Okay.
And when I did come back, nothing felt the same. I was a completely different person. I remember sitting on my bedroom, sitting on my bed, and I'm like, I don't even feel safe here. I don't feel anything is mine anymore. I remember looking at my clothes in the wardrobe and like, that's not mine.
So how does it feel when you think that's the escape, that's the answer? You get there, you escape technically. You're in this home where it should make you feel better. It should make you feel like the trauma's over.
Yeah.
And then you're like, actually, it doesn't feel like I'm safe.
No.
What does that do to your psyche?
It crumbles it. It makes you feel so like nothing is real. Nothing feels real. Nothing feels real. Because I've ripped out all the emotions out of my body and any connection to any sort of attachment.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to find my way back to me because I was so far gone. And I didn't even know the first steps of making that happen. So I decided to commit suicide that night.
That night?
Yeah. I took a whole bottle of paracetamols.
Yeah.
And my mum instantly knew what I was trying to do. She called one of my aunties. She came flying over to the house, started shouting at me, swearing at me. Why are you doing this for? Bringing more shame to the family. You know, it was like nothing I did ever was good enough. Nothing.
Yeah.
And I thought, and the way I referred to the pregnancy was, I don't want this raped child. I don't even want my body because it's not mine. Nothing is mine. So what's the point of me being here?
Yeah.
So I took him, ended up in hospital. They put an IV in me. Thankfully, I didn't take enough. And I remember this one nurse that came up to me after my family went home. And she said, you want an abortion, don't you? And it was the first time anybody asked me, what do I want, in such a long time. She was like an angel. And I'm like, is she really asking me what I want?
Yeah.
And how I feel?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I do. I want an abortion. And I remember they scheduled the scan for the next day. And I saw the scan. I saw my daughter's heart beating and I couldn't do it. No, Rubie, no. It's a life. I can see the heart beating. It doesn't matter where she's come from. And I think in a way, the speck of positivity I had left in me, I put it into my daughter, into that heartbeat.
Yeah.
So it's like as if I plucked up the stars, that one little star that I had left inside of me, and I just dropped it into her heartbeat. And I thought, I'm going to make this mine because it was mine, no one else's. And then I went on with the pregnancy.
Did her father try to get in contact, come to see you, be with you?
At that time, when I was pregnant, obviously they were arranging for him to come over as my spouse. My father started saying that I was working in the restaurant and I wasn't. So they were trying to make all these pay slips which were false.
Yeah.
They were getting him to send letters to the house. So it looks like we've got contact. So then when it comes to immigration, they could show, oh, they've got an amazing relationship, you know, now they're having a baby and all this stuff. And they were doing their best to make that happen. But during that time, one of my other siblings, he actually got a part-time job. And I just gave, now I'm going to rewind a little bit, actually. I actually gave birth to my daughter. She was 3 weeks early and she was very, very sick. It was emergency cesarean.
Yeah.
The whole pregnancy was very, very slow. I only had a tiny little bump. I wasn't, you couldn't tell I was pregnant. But there was something off about the pregnancy.
Yeah.
And I couldn't quite understand. But I thought, oh, she's just a quiet baby. But then she came early and she was £3.13, emergency cesarean. I literally remember in the operating room and the incubator was right here, reflecting off the light, and I could see them cutting me open, which was another trauma.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's disgusting. My mum was like, don't look. I'm like, no, I want to look. I don't know. I was so enticed by it. I was like, what is going on? What are they doing to me? Cutting me open, pulled this baby out, showed, just put her little cheek next to mine, took straight to special care unit. And I was like, what's going on? Why are they taking her away from me? I want to hold her. Realised then the reason why I got so sick in Bangladesh is because he passed a virus on to me. At the time of conceiving, it rinses the baby's development. So it affected my daughter's development throughout the whole pregnancy. Wow. That's why they took her to special care unit. Her stomach was swollen. She was jaundiced so badly. And she was £3.13 ounces. She was like the size of a sugar bag. And then they started to investigate. The doctors did. They kept her in special care unit for as long as they could to get her weight back up. because of this virus, they had to keep her separated from all the other babies. Only I, as a mother, could go in, but she was an incubator. I couldn't touch her.
Yeah.
I only put my hands through the incubator and change her. I had to express milk.
Yeah.
So I couldn't bond with her at all. And that was another detachment of like, hang on a second. I put all this energy into this pregnancy. I used to have flashes of like, I'm going to plait her hair when we grow up, you know, when she's older.
Yeah.
Going to wear same outfits, matching outfits, all that cute stuff. And now they've taken that away from me. Because when I knew that it was him that passed on the virus, because at the time of conceiving, he got sick. And they investigated this and they were like, oh, was he sick around the time when you got pregnant? I was like, how do you know? Because I was so naive. I was like, did you speak to the doctors in Bangladesh? What? How do they know this? It's because they trailed it all the way back to that point. And she still had the virus in her.
So how did that make you feel?
Angry. Like, not again. Like everything that I'm trying to scrape for myself is just being taken away from me again. And I couldn't bond with my child. I think in a way I had so much hellfire going inside of me. I hated him. And because she was a part of him, I didn't want to bond with her. And because I had that naive mentality, I was like, I'd rather set this whole world on fire now.
And how's your relationship with her today?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. She's like dolphins and ponies, and she's always happy, always got a smile on her face. She's so much light and love.
Do you grieve the mother you could have been in those first couple of years?
No, because I was going through my own things. I had to process through it. I'm not going to hate myself. I'm not going to make myself feel guilty for anything.
Not guilt, grief. Not hate, grieve.
I wish I was a better mother. I wish I could have bonded with her quicker. But I was going through my own little journey. And I have to respect that. At that Rubie, at that age, was going through what she needed to go through to get it all out of her system. I feel like I have made up for that time now. And I feel like I'm an amazing mom. But at one point I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was so detached.
So talk to me about guilt, because it seems to be a very loud emotion for you.
I do feel guilty of not being a better mother. But that was at a certain point in my life where I'm like, oh my God, you could have done a lot better. But now I'm older and I have gone through the processes of going through and unpicking every single wound that I've been through. And I'm still learning and I'm still healing, but I'm in such a better mindset right now in my life. Now is the first time that I can actually say that I love me completely. But when I look at through this lens now, back at that, I'm like, she needed to go through that because she needed to learn things. And I'm talking about myself here.
Yes.
So I did feel guilty at one point, but not anymore.
And are you able to process the difference between feeling guilty and grieving at the same time?
Oh, that's tricky. I think as a parent, we all feel guilt.
That's the easy one.
For certain things. But we can't keep feeling guilty because
Agreed.
We can't.
I'm talking about the grieve.
Oh gosh, you are good, aren't you? Grieving the guilt.
Grieving without the guilt can exist.
Do you think it can?
100%. There are two different emotions. One is...
I think I struggle with that.
Yeah, because you went straight to guilt.
Yeah.
I was talking about grieving and you jumped into guilt, which tells me there's still a little bit of guilt being held on.
Yeah.
Right? But also just for you to understand is you're allowed to grieve the years you lost not being the ideal mother and still be a good mother.
Yes.
Both can coexist.
Yeah. You're right there. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I think with the guilt, I feel that's still conditioned in me a little bit.
As with all women, right?
Yeah.
Where most women they feel guilty by programming.
Yes.
So you're programmed to feel guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why when I even say grieving, you're an automatic mind.
It's going straight to guilt. Straight to guilt.
Your brain doesn't know the difference.
Yeah.
But there is a difference.
I see that now.
Yeah.
The way you explained it.
Yeah. So now I'll ask the question again. Okay. Are you able to feel the grief for those years where you were not a good mother?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me how you escaped now. So you had your child, your brother is working part-time. You were taking us through that story.
So my brother started a part-time job in this restaurant, and my daughter came home. So I was still living in my family's house, and he was working in a restaurant part-time, and I used to ask him, oh, can you go and get some takeout? Because I'm craving this or whatever it is. And he'd be like, okay. So whenever I call the restaurant, there was a guy with a different accent. And I was like, oh, who's this guy? And he'd have this really nice accent. And I started talking to him more and more. So I would every time my brother was there, I was like, I'm going to give him a call, hoping to talk to this other guy, which I did. And I developed a relationship over the phone with him.
Yeah.
When I had to go to hospital for checkups, because I was still having checkups, I would go and meet him, and I developed a bond with him. He lost his daughter a couple of years beforehand, and my daughter and his daughter got similar names. So it felt like the universe was bringing us together. There was that trauma bonding going on. So I was like, he's going to save me from this. He's going to take me away. He's got a different accent. He's going to move soon so I can go with him. And then I eloped myself with my baby.
And how did society handle that?
Not well.
Yeah, I bet.
Not well. It was like double whammy, trauma, shame. Plus, you're a married woman, but in the UK, I was not recognized as a married woman.
Correct.
And they were like, you're a mother, you got a baby, you got a husband, you know, you're married, you brought
How old are you at this point? Like 18?
16.
Still 16?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was desperate to get away. I was desperate because I knew with all the immigration things that they were sorting out, he's going to come over soon. And they wanted me to move to a different city with him. And I knew that I did not want to be a maid and a slave and continue that. I'm back home. I've got a chance to go. I'm going to go.
Yeah.
And I took that chance. And it wasn't the best chance I took, because that turned into domestic violent relationship for 5 years.
Where was he from?
The Midlands.
Midlands.
In England,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. So now you moved in with him?
Yes.
Okay, so you moved in with him. You moved in. Your daughter came with you.
Yeah.
And now you're starting to live this new life again. You were dreaming that this is going to be it. You're saved.
Yeah.
And now this turns out to be kind of a repetition. One was, physical abuse, and this one is emotional abuse.
Emotional and physical.
And physical. So
it was more physical with
more
this
physical abuse. Okay, so now you kind of jumped into the next relationship that is physically abusive.
Yes.
How long did you stay in that relationship?
5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
What did the average day look like?
Groundhog Day.
Okay.
It was Groundhog Day. I wasn't allowed out to go anywhere. I was shouted at, sworn at. He was a heroin addict.
Wow.
He would accuse me of everything and anything, even though I'm not allowed to go out anywhere. He would say things like, when he's out, I'm bringing men back to the house. I moved to a city that's far more bigger from my hometown. I was disowned by my own family.
Yeah.
I had no friends, nobody. I wanted to go back home because I felt like, oh my God, I just ran into this trap out of desperation.
Yeah.
And now he's beating me every single day. He'd go away for days because he's on You go out with his pals, doing drugs, come back, take the beatings out of me. I used to sleep with a knife under my bed. He would use anything to hurt me, cables, whipping me. When I'm asleep, he will just come and start beating me. So I would go and sleep next to my daughter, hoping that she would give me some sort of comfort and that he'd stay away. But then I would have a knife under my bed as well. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible. My health deteriorated. I was a bag of bones.
Yeah.
It felt like history repeating itself.
Why didn't you leave sooner? 5 years is a lot of time.
I didn't know anybody to get out. I was too afraid. And I was stuck in that cycle.
Yeah.
And I just did not know how to get out until this lady that I met through one of the play groups, because I had to take my daughter to the play groups, because I found out my daughter was deaf at that time. I met her because her son was deaf. And then she started bonding with me. But then I was pulling away from her because I was going, oh my God, if she asks me too many questions, I'm going to get in trouble. Yes. But she would see the state of me and she would see me with black eyes and things like that. And she became a friend. And she got me out of it. She gave me the courage to get out. And it took a horrific day for me to get out. And by that time, I had 2 babies because I got pregnant by him. So there was 2 children involved. And he was on a come down after a session of being away for like 3-4 days.
Yeah.
He got me into the kitchen. He put all the gas knobs on. And he was like reciting things like, you don't know how I feel. You don't know how I feel. He was grieving and he was going into his dark places because of the loss of his daughter.
Yeah.
And then he was trying to substitute my daughter. And then he was trying to use his son against my daughter, saying, you don't love him more than your daughter. So he was trying to play me off. So there was a lot of psychological twisting going on with everyone's trauma bonding going on.
Yeah.
And me still feeling the need I need to hold on to this because without him, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. So, but it took that day when he put the gas knobs on and he had the knife and he was graving it into the floor saying, you don't understand me. You don't understand me. And he beat me black and blue. I was crying. I was screaming. My kids were on the other side of the door. They were toddlers.
Yeah.
So they were just banging and they were crying because they can hear me crying. And then nature called because he had to go to the bathroom. And then I was going, oh my God, I'm going to go now. So I had a double buggy. I threw both of my kids into the double buggy. I didn't even put a coat on. My kids didn't have their shoes on. And I walked straight out of the house and I knew where that girl told me where she lived. It was only like 4 streets away. And I ran down that road and I went to her house and I reported it to the police.
Why do you think that day was different?
Because he had a knife. He put the knife to my neck. He was going to kill me. He was going to kill my kids. He was saying, that's it. All of us are going to go. I was not going to let that happen. No.
Before we move forward from this story, I want to kind of circle back to your childhood. You said your dad was abusive to your mother.
Yeah.
Physically abusive?
Yeah.
Emotionally abusive?
Yeah.
Okay. So you grew up seeing that as a norm.
Yeah. And I took her on board as normal.
So that's kind of like the cycle repeating itself, right?
I became my mother. I took it all on because I thought that's just what men do. That's how it is because that's all the conditioning that I've had. I grew up with this.
And when did you realize this is not normal? This is not something I should endure or a woman should go through?
In that relationship?
In general.
When I was 27 years old.
You were 27.
That was my pivotal moment.
So next you had another relationship then after that one because I'm assuming
I had
like
another.
You're like 22 at this point.
I was 22, 22, 23.
Yeah.
But when that relationship ended, there was a further 5 years of court cases going on.
Okay.
And stalking.
Of course, because you have a child from him.
Yeah. So then I had to go to court and then the courts then decided he can never have any contact with me or the children.
Yeah.
Indirectly or directly, anything. So I had to leave that house, go somewhere else, basically go undercover and stay away.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. And then I did have another relationship after that. But that was more of a relationship where I was living out my teenage years, going out, partying, enjoying myself. Like, oh my God, I'm actually on a dance floor, dancing, you know, and having a little drink and, you know, just enjoying that relationship. But then that relationship didn't last because I knew that it was a need for that freedom.
Yeah, for that expression of self. So when did you know at 27, like what was the moment that made you feel like, oh my God, love is not abuse?
There was a guy, another relationship, and he was cheating on me with another girl for over a year. And that's when I said, no, enough is enough. He would literally split his week, just like my father did. Going away with the other woman, coming back to my mom, doing whatever he wants to do, fluttering around. And that's what this guy did. And I thought, no, enough is enough now. I'm not doing this anymore. My children, I can't do this for my children to see this. For me to go through this, I'm not doing it anymore. And then I booked a flight to Thailand and I went.
With the kids?
No.
With yourself, took a vacation?
With myself. And because I built a strong foundation with my mother again. So I built that relationship up. My mother would come over to mine, have the children. And I thought, I'm focusing on myself now. So every time I traveled, and I did it often, I found a bit of me. Just being by myself. Okay, what's Rubie without the kids? Well, who's Rubie without the husband? Who's Rubie without the relationships and the abuse and all this? Get away from all the noise. And I would go to all these exotic places to be by the ocean. And I found a bit of me, a bit of piece of me every single time. And I started building myself. And then I thought to myself, hang on a second. I didn't finish my education. So I went back to doing my education. And then I did my GCSEs. I then went to doing counselling skills, went to university, started integrative counselling because I thought I want to help people. And then I learned all the theories under the umbrella and I was applying them to myself. And I was going, oh my God, Rubie, you are so messed up. You are so messed up. And I applied all those things to myself. I did a timeline. I wrote everything down and it was that shocking moment of like, wow, you've got a lot of trauma. You've got a lot of things to unpick, go through and process it and heal no matter how long it takes. And when you're a student doing any sort of like help with community, you have a counsellor assigned to you. I ended up doing 250 hours of counselling. Every time I went to that lady, there was something, I would break down, cry, I'd be like, oh my God, I am a mess. And I started knitting myself back together.
Do you believe that the reason why you dated men that were abusive is that you were still trying to heal the part of you that loved your dad?
Yes. I was desperate. I was so desperate to find him in someone to care for me, someone to love me. Because I did experience it for a short while in my life.
Yeah.
But then it was snatched away.
Yeah.
And then I was desperately trying to find it. Toxic bonding with everyone.
But also hero syndrome. You wanted someone to come and save you.
Save me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's your relationship status today with your first, let's call him husband?
There is absolutely no contact at all.
Okay.
The reason being is because he actually did come over to the UK with a work permit. He was funded by one of his uncles to come over. And before his time was up, he actually went undercover. So what this man did, he went undercover and then he started making, he got I think it was 3-4 years he was undercover. So the police raided a restaurant in Scotland, found him, threw him in a detention centre in London. And then I get a letter through my post, I don't know how it came to me through the post. And then he said, it was in there, it was like, he's got a bond with his daughter. He sees her every single weekend. He's an amazing father, this, that, and the other. And I was like, hang on a second, this is not right. So because there's so many professionals involved with my daughter because of her development, because she's got special needs, they have all documents of who's involved with my daughter, you know, the process, everything. Yeah. And they were like, I was like, you need to help me out here because this man is trying to use my daughter now to stay in the UK, saying, I've got a child who's British.
Yeah.
He took me to court. I went to court. I was so petrified because I didn't want to see his face ever again.
Yeah.
Went in, he wasn't even there. Thank God. There was 3 judges. I sat there, I was shaking, and they were like talking amongst themselves, looking through the paperwork, and they said my name, and they said, you can leave now. This man is banned from ever coming to the UK.
Amazing.
And I was like, thank you, universe.
Amazing.
Because I put my story out there. It was like, I was 15 when I got married to him, 16 when I got, you know, the baby, and he's coming over and he's saying all this, which is false.
Yeah.
And he's banned. So, you know, he can have nothing with my daughter.
And then your son's father?
Nothing.
As well, nothing.
Yeah.
That's great.
So my kids are living the best lives they can without any toxic men involved.
So how do you break the pattern for them not to repeat the same mistakes you've repeated?
Being the best example and showing them.
How?
By self-development, really working on yourself. I think that is the most beautiful gift you can give to yourself. If you can sit there, like I did with that timeline when I was a student, and say, okay, these are all things that I need to accept. Because it was a long time I didn't accept them. But I looked at it and I thought, okay, I've got a mission now. And I did it. And I went into the holistic approaches as well as the psychological, as well as anything and everything that I felt was right for me to do. I did it. I dragged myself through it. Because I thought, those kids are looking at me. They've only got me. They don't even have my family.
Yeah.
Anyone, uncles, nobody. They've got to look at me, and I'm going to be that hero for them. That healthy person where they can say, these are good, healthy way of outlook of life. So they can make the best choices. And they are making the best choices in life.
How old are they?
So my daughter is 26 and my son is 24.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're grown-ups now.
They're grown-ups now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you another question.
Yeah.
So throughout this, you've been talking to me about your story, and I can't help but notice that you have a smile throughout the storytelling.
Yeah.
So in psychology, we call that the mask.
Yeah.
So why do you smile through your pain?
I smile through my pain because once I cried. I cried so much. All the emotions to that, I let it happen. The more I talk about it, the more I'm healing. I will get emotional. I'm a human being. But I'm not there anymore. I'm here. I'm here sitting right now. I'm not in that house getting raped. I'm smiling because I've been through that, but I'm not there anymore. I'm in a safe place.
I love it. Tell me a little bit about the work that you do today.
So the work that I do today, I'm an ambassador for a charity in the UK. So we go out to schools, we train police, we go out to training doctors, all sorts of professionals alike. And we flag up honor-based abuse and forced marriages, as well as abuse with, girls and boys as well, and all the complications that come with it. So we're training them to look out for the flags, even social workers as well with abuse. Because with my story, it's not just forced marriage and that's it. There's a string of so many abuses and it snowballs. So I've got this massive toolbox of things that I can help other people with.
Yeah.
And this is what the vast experience that I've got is so invaluable. It's just when I speak to people, they ask me so many amazing questions. And I know I can help them with them. And that's passing on. I love to say this quote, it's my invisible strength I'm giving. And they passing that on to everybody else. And what a beautiful thing is to help other people be more aware of different types of abuse and look out for and save other people.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the work you do. At the end of the shadow sessions, we always have a quick fire round of questions. So you gotta kind of be quick on your feet.
All right, okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, what's harder, physical pain or social perception?
Both.
Gotta pick one.
Oh, I see. Physical pain.
What do you still fear?
Ooh. I actually don't know. I actually don't know what I fear. I actually don't know that one.
If you were to go in deep.
If I want to go in deep, my children repeating anything that I've been through, that would be my fear. And I'd want to help them.
Do you still love your family after all that they did?
I love my mom. I don't love the people that hurt me because they had a choice. And they chose to hurt me.
If freedom had a face, what would it look like?
A smile. A smile is contagious.
What is one thing you can say to a girl or a woman watching this?
Get help. If you are going through any type of abuse, there was one time that I didn't think I could do it, but I took that step. It takes that one step, or looking at somebody in the eyes and think, oh my God, even if it's through the screen, social media or anything, say, if she can do it, I can do it. And it's so true. If she can do it, I can do it.
Facts. Rubie, thank you so much for your vulnerability, for your transparency, for your courage and bravery, and for showing women what a strong, independent, badass woman looks like. Thank you for your journey, and thank you for your truth. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me. It's been amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sitting in the dark with us. If something cracked open for you today, please don't rush to fix it. And if you're ready to dive deeper on your own, you can explore more at hibabalfaqih.com. This is the Shadow Sessions, where not all darkness is dangerous. Until next time, stay human.